Alrighty then, it's time for another Jarvan game. Yes, I'm using him to rank up. This one, so you might see him a little bit more. Anyways, I do also want to explain the whole rank thing with the main account. A lot of people have been having issues with the fact that the main account is in a lower elo. And the thing is, it's only that because I never actually played it. And I'm surprised that longtime viewers kind of forgot that I always played on the Smurfs, not the main account. So Rachel Risto and Maricon, they have their high MMR, high elo status, right? They're there. But ever since season 4, I stopped playing the main account because I really did not like being recognized by people, and they wanted to troll the shit out of me. Like, one particular game that stands out, and I remember it very vividly, is where my teammate just sort of followed me around because I'm Stonewall and kept harping me saying, "Is this going to be in the video?" And he tried taking my camps, and he actually ended up taking my red buff at one point. That kind of shit was infuriating. So I told myself never again. I just play on the Smurfs and just sort of stay hidden. And that's what I did ever since then. And yeah, the only reason I ever even played the main account was to play with friends or to just get the gold Victoria skin on it. That's it. I didn't really ever care. But now, since I've been having such a shitty month, I've decided I want to play on this one specifically because I have all my cool shit on there. I have all my skins, all the runes, all that kind of stuff. I just want to play and have fun. Anyways, onwards to the game. I missed my EQ by a very little tip, so I have to overcommit to the kill just to make sure Lissandra's able to get it, and I die for it. However, silver linings as the red buff is transferred to Lissandra, and she's able to kite the Hecarim a little bit more effectively, getting a very humiliating kill on him. So that was pretty damn good. You know, again, silver linings to the whole thing. Runes and masteries as Jarvan are basically the classic ones I've always used. Attack damage red, attack damage quints, although you could put attack speed somewhere in those. Armor yellow, and cooldown reduction blues. My masteries are 12, 18, 0, and obviously taking Thunderlords just to go with Dunk Master build. Although, you guys know sometimes I go tanky and go with the whole Titanic Hydra build. Anyways, the enemy team ganks bottom lane, and now we're just sort of waiting here to see if either Quinn or the Hecarim sort of blunders in here and we kill him. So we end up getting the Hecarim, easy peasy kill. It kind of should have realized that by the fact that Lissandra was in mid, that maybe we were hounding him. But as you've seen so far in this game, map awareness is still the biggest issue in all of League of Legends. I don't know how after, 7 seasons plus preseason, people just don't realize that maybe paying attention to the map is really important. Like, I will stress this. If there's any lesson I can give to you, is pay attention to the map. Because otherwise, you're going to be dying to very obvious ganks from like a Hecarim or something, and, I don't know, tower diving pointlessly. And also, I want to point out another thing. In my last Jarvan video, people had a huge problem with me taxing the lanes. I taxed my Orianna a lot, and people were like, "Oh, why are you doing that?" Well, I was going for an Ass Blaster build, right? Ass Destroyer Jarvan. That's what I was going for. My whole purpose in this game is just to wipe out the enemy team, maybe, EQ through all of them, deal a lot of damage, have my teammates destroy them, or dunk someone important on their team, like the Quinn, Vel'Koz, or Twitch, just, get one-shot them kind of thing. Thankfully, I have a Lissandra, which makes this even easier, or she can get a whole different target. And the thing is, you need gold to be able to do that. And the thing is, also, you gotta have to presume maybe that you're better than your teammates, so you can maybe use a goal a lot better. So I know that sounds very arrogant and stuff, but if there's been anything to show in lower divisions, is that you can't really trust your teammates to do properly. Like, look, I want to explain why all of this was wrong on the enemy team. Both Hecarim and Quinn got absolutely fucking demolished, right? They chased the Lissandra from mid lane all the way over there, and it also got the Vel'Koz killed. That was a very, very, very obvious bait, and I kind of just, what the fuck kind of thing. So, think of it this way. Let's say you're in mid lane and you're traveling all the way top, and let's say throughout the entire thing, the enemy team knows you're doing that, and it'll take you, what, 7, 8 seconds to reach top lane. I don't know, I was just saying a number. During that time, and the enemy team can see you, that means the enemy team has 8 seconds to figure out how they want to deal with you. Alright? So my Lissandra was being chased by the enemy team. They didn't know where I was, but they knew where Riven was. And they chased her through the jungle. They weren't really high health, so they could probably be blown up by just kind of her. And then they all just died. During that time, they should have thought, hey, you know, she's probably leading us to die somewhere, or we don't know where the enemy team is. They might set up something for us. We should probably be super careful or just kind of let her go. This is kind of a basis of something that punishes a lot of lower level players. It's just they kind of overcommit and they don't do what I say is like they don't try to look at it as your opponents are good. They just kind of see it as sort of like you're kind of AI. The golden rule for playing the game is don't assume your enemies are idiots. They will see your mistakes and punish the shit out of you. This one particularly is one I wanted to point out. The enemy Twitch got super goddamn cocky and went ahead and, you know, just shot at my teammates at the front line, super away from his, the safety of his tower over his homies. Same here, the Heckerman and the Velkos are just kind of sticking around when they should kind of run away, because they're going to get tower dove. That was a very, very obvious situation that was going to happen. And it goes back to the whole point where they don't, a lot of lower level players don't do this, don't do that rationale. It's like, you got to sort of feel the fact that the enemy wants to kill you. They're paying as much attention or even more attention than you are, and anything you do, they might punish it. You can't think of, oh, you know, I'll do this something stupid thing and the enemy team won't be smart enough to take advantage of it. No, if you do that, if you assume that kind of shit, they're going to spank you. So, I hate to say, it's like, I just kind of, in lower division games, just kind of do what I do, and just try to punish players and maybe feed off their dead corpses. That's why when I made those videos, like Darius or, well, Darius, Garen, and Jarvan, and I called them my Punisher champions. They're the best kind of champions to use for these kind of situations. Of course, your better champions are the ones you're actually good at. It's champions who are like, oh, you slipped up, time to kill you, and then time to exploit that advantage gloriously. And this whole game has been exploiting the fact that the enemy team has sort of just kind of blundered around. Again, they overcommitted to a lot of things. They didn't pay attention to a lot of things. And I kind of tried working around when my teammates did that themselves. The Riven, for example, throughout the game, you saw that she wasn't paying attention to even her own wards. So what I tried to do in that case is just rob her of all her gold. I'm like, you know, she's going to keep dying. She's not going to probably use her gold to the most effectiveness because she's not really paying attention. So I'm just going to take it from her. I didn't really try to take it from other teammates except from her, because she's the one I noticed kind of not doing so well. In the other game, the Orianna was kind of wishy-washy on that, so I kind of robbed it from her. Essentially, if you guys remember that whole anchor video I had a long time ago, you know, oh, find someone with an anchor. In low elo, it's the opposite. You're your team's anchor. You're the one who has to hold the fort if you're, you know, if you feel you're good enough, I guess. And then some of you might hate me telling, you know, people right now, oh, you know, tax the shit out of your teammates. But sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you see a weak link, just kind of, you know, bury them, throw them away, and take everything they got. We kind of showed it in this game, right? There wasn't much commentary to say because the enemy team kind of died to their own mistakes, and we took advantage of it, and it was super beautiful and glorious. Either way, again, you might see more of Jarvan because I'm just going to be using him from now on, because I've been using some support junglers and support champions, and that shit does not work in low elo, let me tell you that much. Hooray for Jarvan.